It's your girl Sharryse, and I have a young man on the line whose rap flow has been compared to a younger version of the late great King Nipsey Hussle. That's my guy, Cody Glaude. What's up, young king?
Hey, what it do? What it do? How you doing?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm good. I'm great. Great.
Awesome. Well, we're about to jump right into the interview. So, tell our listeners where you're from.
I am from D.C.
Ooh, okay.
Born in
I
D.C.
thought you were going to say France,
actually,
with the last name.
Hey, I was born there too. But I was born in D.C. in an all-women's hospital. It's actually not there anymore. I don't know the exact name, but it was an all-women's hospital in D.C. And I was born there. They shut it down in like '96.
Wow.
Yeah, so very unique, you know what I'm saying? And then grew up in like the Fort Washington area. Lived in Kansas for a little bit, and I lived in Texas for a little bit, but now I'm back home. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. All right. So you've been a little traveler. You've been traveling.
Yeah.
Now, you're a man of many talents, or may I say jack of all trades. Now, before we talk about your business and who you are managing, let's talk about music, your music in particular. So, when did you decide that you wanted to do music?
Well, honestly, it was crazy because in elementary school, I would always have a notebook. I ain't always think I was going to be a rapper, and then that's just, you know what I'm saying, we used to beat on the desk freestyle. But me and this dude named Taylor Matthew, he's actually a rapper now in the area. And we used to get in trouble for writing raps and then having curse words in our raps and all this other stuff. And then throughout, I would always write because I also like what I've been through. So that was a way I would vent. I wouldn't necessarily read it to nobody, like, you know what I mean? And then when I lived in Texas, I was probably like 19, and I moved back at I stayed out there for like a year and a half. Moved out here. And my cousin Image, you know Image. Shout out Image. He's always been rapping. Big shout out to Image. He's always been rapping since day one. And I would watch him, you know what I'm saying? I always had it in the back of my head, but I never really pursued it. When I moved back, I was around him. I was living with him for a little bit, too, when I first moved back. And I was always around him. I'm like, man, I need to lay something down. So I sat and wrote my Mama single, song about my mom. It just came out, and I recorded it, and it was like, yeah. After that, I started making more music, you know what I'm saying? All for life experiences, for real. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What artist do you believe has influenced your style of music?
I would say, I don't compare myself to him, but I would say Lil Wayne. Like, if anybody, that was another reason I wanted to start rapping. Like, I went to Lil Wayne's his first tour when I lived in Kansas, Kansas. I moved out there in middle school. And he was at a small, it was like a small, it wasn't no big arena. It was like a small little, it wasn't like it wasn't as big as an arena, but it was like a little mini arena, whatever. But he had he just put out the Carter. And when I seen him live, I was like, dang, that's inspiration right there. He had the dreads, you know what I'm saying? He inspired the world with that. I had dreads in my head at one point, but yeah, so he inspired me for real.
Okay. Well, when did you write your first song? Was it the one about your mom, or was there another song in particular that you wrote?
I actually wrote a track called One Day, and I wrote it, and that was the very first one. Image is actually on that song too. He actually put on his album, which was crazy. That was the first all the way song I wrote, and that was crazy. That was crazy. And he actually put on his album. That was pretty good. Called One Day.
All right, I'm gonna check that out after this is over. Now, do you have a stage name, or do you just go by Cody?
I just use my regular name. I just say Cody Glaude, honestly. Because it's so unique. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
One day.
Cody Glaude is so dope. I just want you to know that. I really love it.
Cody Glaude. One day I'm going to leave it at Glaude. When I hit about 30, I'm going to just say, look, I'm going to just say, call me Glaude. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Glaude or something like that. You know, walk in the building, Mr. Glaude, street sign, Glaude, all that. So I'm going to say that in the long run. You know.
Now, I've asked you in the past, are you a gospel rapper? And you told me no. So what genre of music do you think that your music fits into?
I just say I'm an artist, honestly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even like people calling me a rapper because everybody says they rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, everybody says they rap in this time, so I just say artist for me. Like, I make music. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I tell people. I don't like to label it too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I say I'm not a gospel rapper. Even though I do perform in church, I can perform anywhere because I have a different song for everything, right? So when I'm with Jesus Gang, I don't like to say I'm a gospel rapper. I rep Jesus Gang, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not a gospel rapper. I don't want him to get caught up and me. They hear my music and they like, hold up, this ain't gospel rap. I'm not saying I got some gangster music out, but mine might be more in the deep, you know.
More
might be a
secular
little
than
more
his
deep.
is.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, I got it.
you know that. So,
Now, speaking of Jesus Gang, me and you linked through Jesus Gang. So, can you tell everyone how you linked up with Jesus Gang back in the day? Because I know y'all been friends for a while, right?
Yes, I know Jesus Gang since like the second grade, which is crazy. And he was neighbors. We were neighbors since the second grade. Before I moved away, we was neighbors or whatever. And then we reconnected when I moved back. Like, I reconnected with everybody, but he was one of the first people I met up with. It was like nothing ever happened. Like, I never left. You know what I'm saying? We always kept in contact and all that other stuff. And honestly, like, right when I recorded that first, like, you know what I'm saying, that first hit, we were recording in, like, I moved back next door, which was crazy. Because that was my grandfather's house that I had lived in with my mama. And he was still next door at the same exact place. And then he started recording, and then, like, he started making, it was crazy because he's always wrote songs too, but I don't think he's ever really, like, laid it down. So we were in the closet recording, like, using image equipment, all that stuff, just doing what we could, going to open mics, doing all this other stuff. And then just, hey, look, we just trying to make a change, you know what I'm saying? In a positive way. So, yeah, the chemistry is always going to be there, though. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Now, do you currently have a single out right now?
Nothing new. I'm going to release something with S.P. That joint's great. Yeah. We got a little joint about to drop. But right now, I mean, you go to YouTube, SoundCloud, Cody Glaude, you know what I'm saying? The most current joint is Stair Steps with LB Smooth and Image.
Yeah, I love that song.
YouTube. Yeah, that was amazing. We were just sitting in the studio and just kind of came up with that. That was crazy, but it's doing numbers, so y'all go check it out. Stair Steps.
Okay. Now, can we expect a mixtape anytime soon?
I will say this. I was going to drop something on my birthday. It was going to be like a little surprise mixtape for real. That's nice.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about doing that. Just some new stuff because I'll be promoting. I'm a slow, like, if I write it, like, I'm a slow writer. Like, I have to go through something to make a song. Unless somebody wants me on a feature. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be like, oh, I'm going to rap today. You know what I'm saying? I got to go through something to do that. So that's why I have fewer songs than most people.
Okay.
I would say that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, we just mentioned Jesus Gang. I read on your Instagram that you're his manager. How did that come about?
Yeah. That actually happened probably like 2 months ago. But I would say this. I manage him and then DJ Best Friend, my DJ. We actually went to middle school together. Okay. And we pretty much, I mean, for one, it looks more professional when you have, you know what I'm saying, a manager. But I have my own business, so like it's just a good look, honestly. It gets you paid, and you know, so and I got chemistry with my DJ, him, whatever. So it just works out in the long run when you go to shows. Yeah, you talk to my manager, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So they were with it. You know what I'm saying? I know how to talk money. I know how to, you know, communicate with people. So it just worked out for real in the long run.
That's what's up. Now, like I mentioned earlier in this interview, you're a businessman. Can you tell everybody? Well, actually, I'm going to mention the name of your business. It's called Super Shine, and you're the CEO. So can you tell everybody what that exactly is about? So
it's basically a mobile car wash. I come to you. That's right. Super Shine DMV, you know. And we go anywhere in D.C., Maryland, Virginia. We come to your house, business. I've done cars at the MGM, doctor's office, everything. So basically, yeah. So while you at work or wherever, you chilling, I bring everything. I got the water tank in the back, pressure washer, the wax stuff, all that. Like, everything's in the back. So I don't need your hose, like, so no buckets, everything. Everything's in the van. So I pretty
That
much pull
is
up on you.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's to bring in some dollars, you know what I'm saying? Fund
Oh,
everything.
I feel that.
So, yep, got to get it somehow, like, for real.
Absolutely. Now, you've accomplished a lot at such a young age. Who is the inspiration behind how far you've come?
Okay, so I would say one is my mother, you know what I'm saying? When she passed away, I was 12. And that showed me how short life was. And she used to, like, she had a good job and all that, but she was always, like, bad with money, if that makes sense. So she was always, sometimes she was unhappy, she would cry and all this other stuff. So that was my inspiration. And another one was probably seeing my dad struggle, too. Seeing my dad struggle after she left the world, seeing how, you know, life is short. But then my dad, you know, he chose to move me to Kansas because of that. You know what I'm saying? I moved from Indiana just to give me a new start, see a whole nother side. You know what I'm saying? But he was struggling, you know what I'm saying? He left his job to do all that just to get me out of here, you know what I'm saying? And that was good and bad or whatever. And then another inspiration was probably Uncle Lamar, Image's father, actually. I actually had a show where I had a live interview of him. He went to college and all that. He went for I think mathematics, something like that, or whatever. He went to college for that.
Wow, he's smart.
He's good with numbers, you know. And his story is crazy. I ain't gonna say everything, but his story is really crazy. He's always been an entrepreneur, and he basically owns 6 car washes now. When I moved, but that was another reason I moved back back here, because I wanted to learn how to be a boss. You know what I'm saying? I've always thought, you know, I can't work for nobody. I had plenty of jobs at one point, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, this isn't for me. I've always seen myself controlling my own life. And he owns 6 cars. He started in a parking lot. So it was no excuse. I worked for him and I learned how to wash cars and all this. And I was like, man, I got to do my own thing. And he supported it. You know what I'm saying? He gave me my water tank for free. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew how hard I worked and how serious I was. And that's it. So that was like my motivation. I wanted to, you know, make some money, put some money in my pocket, be in control of my own destiny, do what I want. If I got a show, I can call off whenever or tell somebody to go, you know. And it's not easy, but hey, it was just worth it, you know. So you can't just do one thing. I tell people all the time, you gotta have multiple, you know, streams of income. And
yes, you do.
Then you don't want to get bored. You don't want to get bored. You know what I'm saying? You can do plenty of things. You can do whatever you want.
I totally agree. Now, you're also an activist in your community. What's your opinion of gun violence in the hip-hop community?
My opinion, I feel like it's always been a thing, especially since like Biggie and Tupac or whatever, anything gang-related. But I do feel like, I ain't going to get deep into it, but I do feel like black rappers are sometimes a target if they're educated. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a big problem. Like, we even, you know, we have memes about moving different as we, you know what I'm saying, climb to the top, all that stuff, but not putting everything on social media where we at, because sometimes you're just a target. I don't care who it is. Like, black men are a target in general, but black rappers who are educated or who have some kind of power with their word, or whether they preaching facts, all this other stuff, they end up dying. So like, it's just like, I don't even think we just killing each other. You know what I'm saying? I always think it's something bigger. Not all the time, but it's sometimes it's something bigger behind the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get deep into it, but yeah. So
absolutely.
But
now, do you believe in the Second Amendment?
Oh yeah, you gotta have a strap. Yeah, you gotta have a strap. And if they try to take that, then it's gonna turn to, even if they do try to take it, they know we still gonna have guns. Like, they can't just go in everybody's house. Like, people didn't have guns since the 1900s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got their grandfather guns out. And people buy guns. They don't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people got guns that's on them. Like, I never thought about that. You know what I'm saying? Then they giving out guns to everybody in Chicago. So it's like, I don't know. Like, anything. You know, you gotta have a gun though. Always strapped, like Wayne said. So, yeah.
Now, before you go, can you please share your social media with our listeners?
Yes, everything is Cody Glaude, Cody. Last name Glaude, Glaude. Y'all go follow me right now if y'all listen to my voice. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on my show. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, this was the first solo interview. Usually I'm with G's Gang or my whole crew or something. We all getting interviewed together, so I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That's
I'm hyped that this is your first solo, and I was the
first
one to do
solo
it.
play.
That's lit.
Neck like mine. Yeah, that's lit. That's history. We're gonna look back and be like, yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
Yo. So yeah, I appreciate it, yo. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. It's your girl Sharryse, and I'm out.
Digital Dope Radio.